Hello everyone, this is a Greyshot 117 here, bringing you another Company of Heroes 2 replay. This time, brought to you by the Racist Duck. I believe he is very racist indeed, and should be dealt with immediately, which is why I'm bringing this replay to your attention. No, I'm kidding. He's just a gamer who sent me a CH2 replay on Rails and Metal to 2v2. Okay, W and a Vermont player. Can we not have all that? Okay. Great. I'm glad you have conscripts. Anyway, we have Bez tomorrow. I went Lent. Bez and Lent. How about that? Pask and Racist Duck. There you go. And a decent amount. Again, a Soviet American versus OKW and Vermont. I'm seeing less love toward the British. I'm not 100% sure why that is, but I've been seeing them less and less lately. Maybe people are just going old school with the Soviets. That's what I've been kind of doing. I don't know. A capacity. I also want to thank my Patreon supporters, my new one, Cornelius, along with, of course, Chris, Tim, and Leon. Pretty much everybody who has pretty much been supporting me on Patreon. And remember, if you want to support me on Patreon, you can do so via link on my YouTube channel. And or, if you would like to, you can always just like, subscribe. That always helps as well. And if you're wondering, it's like, oh, Greyshot, it's like, I want to support you. Do I get anything? Yes, there's all sorts of perks. For example, if I do a fan stream and I see that you are on, that you automatically can join. You're essentially the first line of people who can join in a fan stream. Note, however, and I will be coined, anyone can join the fan stream, so you don't have to pay to do that. It's just if you're on, you're in the first line. But okay, let's get in the game because that's what you guys are here for. An awesome 2v2, which I hope Racist Duck sent me. Let's see here. We have looks like a big. Okay, so it looks like, again, this map, for this area in general, it's like pretty annoying because of this heavy cover in the building right here, especially when the MG gets here. It would be very difficult to push up. Although, to be fair, building here would be, MG here would be great for stopping any push. But in any capacity, looks like the rifleman tried to get in there, got destroyed because, again, the Stern Pioneers, great close range, just annihilated them. MG has to pull back because of the rear echelon that pushed up, along with some conscripts pulling into pretty much attack. But luckily, since they have this building open, looks like they might try to put the MG in there, which would be good. It would cover this area and also here. But note, we have one window there and, okay, two over here. So the MG, unlike another building map design that didn't really have that window over here, this one does. So it can look out the side. It's very important because, again, that can suppress infantry going in this sector. Now, we have the fuel point over here. However, we can see the Allied fuel point is already not only controlled, but under no contention, which is good, because this will allow the Soviet player to pretty much push up and start putting a lot of pressure in the Axis area, forcing them to pretty much kind of redistribute the resources and kind of counteract, because if the Allies already have all the points they need and kind of pushing into the Axis territories, that's kind of bad, because the Axis need those resources, although we can see here that Racist Duck is trying to counterattack. Let's see. Racist Duck. I'm very curious why you have the Puma, but, you know, if you do bring it up, that would be very cool. Let's see. Anything else interesting? T-30-45s, some Rifleman bonuses, standard, and we have some Grenadier bonuses. Alright. Now, we do have a lot of infantry here. It looks like we have a lot of Volk squads being made by Racist Duck. Have a nice front line, again, versus the Allied forces. So there was a push here that kind of backfired. Pask, overall wide force. I'm glad he has a mortar MG, like a nice wide varied selection of support units. So that's good. Now Lent, let's see, he went armored assault. This will allow him essentially to bring up the IS-2. Very good. T-30-45s, which are advanced medium tanks. Very good for fighting Panthers. Can't necessarily kill one by itself, but with support it could easily go toe-to-toe with it. Cervix Strike is also great for killing infantry. Man-oh-man will tear it apart. Now, Tactical Support Company, we have the Calliope. The Calliope is great, pretty much, essentially it's a beefed-up Katusha in my mind. Also, the Strafe is great for killing infantry, doing a lot of damage in that one Strafe. The Half-Track is great for killing emplacements, and the LMG is great for killing stuff long range. Looks like, again, we have a nice push over here. Racist Duck trying to cap some territory. Although, to be fair, we have another Allied push, and it seems as if Pask is, unfortunately, lost this area and had to pull back, which is kind of a bad thing, because now, of course, if they capture this area, as you can see here, they can use this heavy cover, place an MG, and make it very difficult for the Axis to push up, because, again, one nice MG here, or maybe a fighting position here could really stop it. You could really use this fence to the advantage of they have to push. The best way they could describe it is they have to push and go through here. So if you get a nice little cover area here with the fighting position, they would be unable to pretty much bum rush and also provide cover in case AT fire starts shooting at them. Rifleman pushing back, kind of a mixed bag. Overall, resource-wise, we can definitely see that the Axis have a slight advantage. However slight it is, they have it. Can you get in this? Okay, you can. Don't be wrong. The building's on fire, so I don't think you want to stay in that building. But it is a building you can get in. Looks like they're doing a nice flank. I do like this, kind of cutting off the enemy's resources. This is essentially cutting off their fuel income, which is kind of cut off this Soviet player from really upgrading any faster, or this American player from getting any Shermans. Very, very good indeed. However, again, we do have this point here being captured, but as long as this point's captured, you can see here, it's cutting off the territory, so the resources that would normally, even if they did capture this, would not go back to their HQ. So that's a nice little deflection, or a nice little deflection point, I should say. Both squads just swarming through their territory. I like that a lot, because again, the Soviet MG has a narrow field of view, so you can easily flank it. It is quick to like set up, but still, it's very nice when you get to see a player just like try to bum rush and get around them, because you can get around a lot of MGs by just going around it. Even like the MG42, even though it has this wide arc, if you come from two different angles, it's still you can easily get around it. It's good in its like overall like huge area, but it comes at a deterrent because it takes a while to set up. Plus, again, if you're coming from just two units from two different angles, you can easily flank it. But a lot of people just go bum rushing straight through and then wonder, oh, I can't get through the MG. Oh boy. I know I'm not complaining, I'm just stating a fact. I've seen it quite a few times. Okay, so we have the Soviet player, aka Lent, setting up some, look what, fuel resources? Yeah, some fuel. Pretty good, especially if you can put on some very crucial points. That way, of course, the enemy can't simply just walk in and decap it. Let's see here. All heavy stuff. Alright. I'm curious to see what these two guys go. I like all these doctrines, I really do. Racist Duck gave a nice selection. Kind of been mixed on like, oh, should I go breakthrough or not? But overall, these are a nice selection of OKW doctrines, and same thing with the Wehrmacht. All very nice, with their own benefits and advantages to having them. Nice push. Again, there's nothing here, so it's like, okay, the mortar could kill me, or we could literally rush up. Both sides run away, of course, why not? Nice allied push once again. Although we can see here we have a medic building. This thing needs to pull back. Racist Duck, you're putting that HQ in a bit of turmoil. Plus, MG34, set that thing up, maybe in the building. Oh wait, can't set up in that building. Never mind. Just set it up. Hurry. We have a grenade. Yes, we do. We got grenade upgrade, and unfortunately, I think he's gonna lose it. Oh, very close. Very close. At least retreat it. Although we have a lot of Volk squads with the STG-44s, which should at least put these riflemen in a run for their money, because they have bars, but the STG-44 is still a nice bonus. Plus, as you can see, you have more troops coming up. So although the lieutenant is good, it can't sustain fire from all three of these. Plus the MG, which is just icing on the cake. Now, my brother did state that the armor-piercing rounds on this thing was nerfed. After doing some thorough testing, no, it's just as powerful. It's just as good. I don't know how my brother's like encounter with the scout car didn't end up with it dying, but lo and behold, it still tears apart light armor with ease. Because I think that like he brought it up last replay. I want to clarify that. Now we can see here again a little bit more of a stable front. Well, usually after the first 5 minutes, the front usually stables out by like, okay, what does the enemy have? What do we have? We can see here that overall, the Allies control a huge amount of territory and a lot of resources now compared to the Axis, where essentially they're kind of, I don't want to say at a disadvantage per se, but it's not looking all that good for them. Simply because of the fact that resource-wise they're really down, and also on the flip side, we can see that, oh, what's the best point? Oh, yeah, and also just fuel cap-wise. Unfortunately, while both of the Allied players can put down caches, only one of the Axis players can. So it's more of a it's more of a hassle for PASS to start putting that stuff down. Nice incendiary, push that thing back, capture that territory, and at least now it's a little bit more even. But look at the Axis munitions. That's easily over 2 times more than what the Axis are getting. So that's a huge bonus for the Allies. Nice half track. I do think this is a good idea. So far, we haven't seen really any... Okay, we have one bazooka, but not really any substantial AT. So again, I feel like that's a big bonus to bring this thing out, because if you don't see any AT or anything that like says like, oh, they got captain, remember you got a lieutenant. So Racist Duck knows, alright, so he doesn't have anything substantial for AT or anything that can really fight me. Let me just bring this sucker out. Now, again, he does have the half track, and that could also do a lot of damage. But very nice job. Also, like how, again, he kind of like saw the smoke and like, alright, let's just reposition. Because smoke will obstruct the view and make it easily able for this infantry to move up, and with it being unable to see. So that's why he changed position. Alright, something happened there. I'm guessing a mortar hit. But one key point is, even though the Allies are getting a ton of resources, the Axis have more men. And that's going to probably play out to their key advantage, because usually the Allies need a little bit more men to really fight the Axis. Again, it's like the Axis have better troops, but the Allies are more numerous. Now, of course, some factions of the Allies are different. Like the American faction, you don't need, per se, that much. As I was saying, let's see, does the Soviet player have any AT? Okay, they do, and they actually have a T-70 as well, which if used correctly could take this thing out. Again, the half-track is light armored, but does not nearly as much armor as the T-70, and could easily own this thing if it's used correctly. But again, you would have to worry about these guys, because the Volkssquads now have the Panzerfaust ability, which makes it very difficult to fight. Okay. Oh, shoot. There we go. Rifle grenade, AT gun. So AT gun's over the hill, but unfortunately, it looks like, again, you up with bazooka. He upgraded his troops with bazookas, and unfortunately did not turn out very well. Gonna pull back a little bit. Alright, that's fine. Volkssquad's pushing up. Now, it is a battle. Again, they're getting rather close to the Allied front, so this is the point where it's like, do you want to battle? Because in this scenario, again, they not only do they have the high ground, which I think does have a small boost, if I recall correctly. Elevation does play a key factor. I know it plays a key factor with tanks. Nice try with the grenade, but unfortunately that was a fail. Oh, fire grenade was not a fail, and he's going to retreat from that. Now, I get, you could say, oh, he's holding them back, but since he's so close to the enemy base, I don't think he'll be able to continually sustain fire. Now, if he puts this as a retreat point, which is exactly what he did, then yes, he can hold it on. But again, remember, the closer you get to the enemy base, the more losses you'll most likely take, and the more consistently of an engagement you're going to be having. So you have to be very cautious, because again, if you lose a lot of your units very close to the enemy base, you have to retreat them a very far distance, and the enemy can just instantly walk back, get up to the front, and do a lot of damage. Now let's see, Racist Duck, wow, already at 7 points. Alright, nice job. He picked fortifications, and we have also the Jaeger Doctrine. This is good for long range and takes specific points with the Elephant and also, of course, the Stuka Bomb Strike. Well, Racist Duck is good because not only can he hold a fortified line, but he actually, because of the recent change, instead of the MG34 that was here, they gave him the artillery. Now, I'm of two minds of this. I don't mind the artillery, but it is annoying for this doctrine to have that ability. And let me explain why. This doctrine was great because essentially it's just hold down the line, and then if the enemy attacks with a full force, using artillery. This is kind of the antithesis of its weakness. This is like giving... Oh, what's the best way? Oh, yeah, this is like making... Oh, what? Like a Pokemon, and giving it like a counter to its like thing that would normally hurt it. Like, it's like, oh, it evolves and it's like this. Well, it didn't have that before. Probably, I'm sorry, Pokemon's on the Brink is a Pokemon Go, which apparently, already 24 hours after it got released, cost the man his job, a person found a dead body, and all sorts of other crazy things have been happening. So yeah, there's your random news. Pokemon Go is going crazy. But yeah, it's like, this will counter then any artillery that would normally take out these emplacements. It won't be the best, but it is something that will counter. So it kind of really boosts up this doctrine because it counter. The issue with this doctrine was, of course, artillery. But with this, kind of evens it out. A lot of support weapons here. I don't see. Oh, okay, we have T-70. That can do a lot of damage. GT has actually been finding out that T-70, I don't know if they buffed it or not, but if you have 2 of these damn things, oh my god, do they destroy infantry like crazy. Nice try with the AT gun. Again, use the artillery ability. Nice fire grenade to knock out the mortar. Simply because of the fact that it takes them a while to get easily do a lot of damage. I love this T-70 just sniping infantry, little by little. Again, it's great for killing infantry, and some people would have chased down that infantry and caused a lot more damage. But if I'm going to assume the Soviet player, okay, yeah. No, actually, never mind. I thought he might have got a half-track to recrew his guys or just use conscripts to reman them. But no, it's even worse than that. He's getting a T-30-45, and this thing has, again, it says good armor penetration. Yeah, it's really good. It could easily kill this Panzer IV. Easily. I'm not, like, there's no competition. It can. Now, here's a question for you. Sorry if you hear a little jingling. That's my, cat, if you have not seen her. She's been now in multiple videos, playing with her little, I guess, mouse, which has a little, like, quote-unquote, jingle in it, which is like, oh, that's great. A little bell, I should say. Not jingle, what am I talking about? A capacity. MG bunker here, very nice. Now, we do have a mortar carriage, and I feel like this is a good idea, because again, I can fire long range to take out these emplacements. It's not that powerful, per se, it's like an AT gun hit, but it's still enough damage, it will kill that. Now, Reese's Duck isn't, you know, letting that beat him down. He's pushing up with a lot of infantry. This thing could actually snipe infantry if done, used correctly. Okay, that was a nice hit. So yeah, mortar carriage getting another nice hit. Very nice. Again, a lot of sustained fire here, especially on the hill. I love this position because literally just firing at a high vantage point and just hitting all these different forces. Very, very cool. We have another push over here. Now, I would say, you could say like, oh, Panzer IV is going to lose. Well, because he's rushing in, this building's actually getting a couple nice hits. It's that kind of helping. Also, not sure what killed the T-70. Maybe he focused on that before focusing on this. But this half-track is definitely making it so that way at least, you know, it's doing a little bit more damage. If this thing can fire one... Oh, I was going to say fire one more shot. If the AT gun can fire one more shot. Shoot. It barely makes it away alive. He's probably can use repairs, though. As long as he puts in a secret position, he can use it. And just instantly heal it without worrying about engineers. It's kind of nice to have the ability, because then you don't have to worry about, oh, I've sent my engineers. No, it just automatically repairs, which is really, really good. Now, the Allies are... I mean, one of the, unfortunately, Soviet players down, but the American player has a full army, and I do like this Jackson location now, so that makes it a lot more difficult. At least he did heal, and he's bringing up for Kenworth, so he is learning, he is countering. Which, again, is a good thing. At least they're not just like, oh, well, I have to fall back. No, he is fighting, and at least he is using a good strategy. Now, again, probably hiding behind this heavy cover and kind of holding back the enemy and then pushing up would be a good idea. Because, again, even with this mortar carriage, the shots, again, do consistently less damage if they're in heavy cover compared to if they have no cover. So, unfortunately, a lot of troops pushing up. Again, we could easily see a lot of Panzerfausting occurring. Because, again, about 1 or 2 shots could easily cripple this thing. It takes only 1 shot, I believe, to cripple the mortar carriage. So, it's something. Now, we do have a fighting position here that's going to pretty much stop the infantry from coming through. And out of the 2, unfortunately, from what I'm seeing, out of, like, sustained support gun combat going back and forth, I honestly see the American player having the advantage. Because, although we have an AT gun, we have AT, and then, of course, the mortar carriage, support gun, bunker, the American player just has way more essential just infantry and more tactics that is open to right now. Though, again, we can see here, Racist Duck does have a Panther. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. Alright, so in any case, now unfortunately it's still going to be a stalemate. Now, what could open this up is actually the other area. And we can see here, Pask has been doing a pretty good job for himself. I mean, he has a new Panzer IV. I mean, too bad his other one died. But hey, he has a new one. Plus, I like how he's been using this Battlegroup headquarters to his advantage. Pretty good. But he's also, as we can see here, kind of taking over. Well, at least he did take over until the Soviets pushed back up. But he's been running the Soviet player pretty much into the ground. He may have taken some losses, but overall, he's been doing a really good job. We do have a Sturmovik strike coming in, and unfortunately, that's probably going to tear apart his infantry. I do like how he's going for the heavy cover. That will do a lot less. Very cool. Now, I'm assuming that other smoke was the American strafing run. Yeah, there we go. Which did nothing, because, again, they're in cover. Now, while that one's a strafe, this one is consistent. The Sturmovik strike will stay in the area for a good minute. So, again, you have to be very cautious while you're in that area. Same thing with, like, a P-47. Unless you shoot out of the sky. I wonder how they did that. Oh, right, because the OKW building, which has native AA fire. That could have helped. Or maybe their base? No, actually, the base doesn't have AA. Alright. Now, the Panther's like, fuck you. I love this. Just bum rushing the Jackson, taking out. Very smart. I like that guy's micro. Not get the repair crew out of there. At least you can have something that you can still use. Mortar carriage still there. We still have AT gun, looks like, and some other low abilities. So the Panther has to retreat, otherwise it will probably lose. But again, with all this AT and MG and stuff like that, at least they can hold. Now, the big thing is this AT gun. That's the big thing. Because if that AT gun can knock out that bunker, it's pretty much GG. Because that could really just bum rush through a lot of forces. Now, we have another MG here, which would be considerably harder with for the AT gun to hit. But, you know. Also, again, we still have here, which is headquarters still sniping them if they go for this point. Which is actually smart that this... it's not covering entirely, but partially the fuel point is covered. So that's good. Oh, this is the Major. I'm like, what is this? Yeah, that's the Major using its artillery ability, I believe. Anyway, another push, but unfortunately there's just too much AT fire and whatnot. Nice incendiary grenades. That should probably kill that thing unless they repair it. I don't see it living. Let's see, the Soviet player, 2 T-30-45s. I'm assuming they're going to prep a charge. And again, in this scenario, I see them easily trouncing this Panzer IV. But I don't see a lot of AT. Do you have AT? No, you don't have the Panzer Grenadiers anymore. I'm assuming they died. And your constant battle with the T-34-85s, I feel like is not going to go well. As you can see there, like 2 shots almost killed it. So this thing has to retreat. Oh, this thing is so close to dying. Run, Panzer IV, run. Get behind that cover. Nice idea, again, use that cover advantage, because, again, they can't see. Get a nice hit. That's good. Blitz, motherfucker. Oh, mine. That would have been amazing if it would have crippled their own T-30-45 with it. Panzer IV shoots it, ignites it. AT gun currently hitting. Okay, it's something. They're kind of injured, but not really. They could honestly keep fighting if they wanted to, but I think he's going to pull back just for safety reasons. Another Sturmovik strike. This guy's a ton of munitions, I'll say that. Like, I'm not saying you shouldn't save your munitions, but yeah, Sturmovik strike can annihilate a lot of this infantry. I don't know, at how much that thing costs for the Sturmovik strike, I don't think it should cost 180. It doesn't do necessarily as much as it should, and it could easily be shot down by AA. So, in my humble opinion, I think it should be 150. Because again, it's like, it comes in and then it dies. It's like, well, that was helpful. Also took down the building, but you know. Another Panzer IV, but like I said, they still have the 2 T-34-85s along with it now of your pack gun, which is not going to help you out all that much. So I don't know what you're going to be doing. The Panther, on the other hand, once again, annihilating the Allied armor. Again, the Allied player in this situation needs to have some additional support or something. He's not. He just keeps bringing up the Jacks and be like, hey, it'll snipe. Well, jackass, if that's the only set of AT, again, maybe Racist Duck knocked that out, which is also really good, but you need something consistent. You can't, if there's nothing there, don't leave your Jacks in there. Pull it back. What just happened? Maybe he lost his Panzer IV randomly somehow. I don't know. Speaking of random things, get a little off topic. The last Tycoon... so Amazon Prime, I have that. They just released their new set of series for, like, I guess, pilot preview where you can vote to see if you want it or not, or if there's interest or not in it, which I think is a great idea. Have, like, if a network TV was like, here's 20 shows, and I think Amazon it has, like, 10. But, again, they're a new network. Has, like, here's, like, 10 shows. Tell us the 5 you really like, and these will be the shows that we'll put it in. And for those wondering, oh, the Greyshot, what? It's like, well, why do you care? Because last year they released Man in High Castle, which is like a World War II-esque, or post-World War II show where it's essentially based on a book series where the German and Japanese won the war. I don't even know where the fuck Italy is. They just like, oh, Italy, yeah, right. Because they mentioned Germany conquering the African continent, so I'm assuming Italy is just like a puppet state at this point. But yeah, it's essentially its just own thing, and I'm just like, oh, this is amazing. So the last Tycoon stars like Matt Bomer and a bunch of other like decent actors in like 1930s Hollywood with like all sorts of interesting like depictions. That being said, I think they're emphasizing a little bit too much of German influence in Hollywood. I don't think it was that big. Maybe I'm just wrong, but whatever. Who knows? In any capacity. It's a good show. I'm like, oh, this is very interesting. I may have to check this out. 2 T-30-45s. Again, nice push over here. Again, not a lot of AT fire, a lot of support forces. This is going to force Racist Duck to pretty much come over and protect his HQ. We have our, it looks like a Stormvik strike, I'm assuming coming in, because, again, Soviet players just like, why not call that in? Now, here's the thing. Yeah, I know, I say, here's the thing, whatever. Panther, great front armor. These things, not so much. Also, a lot of sustained fire from, you know, I believe there was a Bazooka Force and whatnot. Should have probably pulled back. Once again, plane crashes. The Starwing planes suck. Jesus Christ, they suck. Also, Panzerfaust would have been great. Oh, you didn't have enough. My apologies. Alright, you're slow repairing the... Oh, there was a Bazooka Force. I'm like, I know I saw a Panzer Shrek. Not Bazooka, my apologies again. Wow, 3-star MG. And with that, the Soviet player essentially just got crippled. I'm doing wrong. Pask has kind of been losing a lot, and he's not exactly the greatest of shapes, in the greatest shape right now. But if he would have knocked out that HQ, that would have crippled the OKW player. Because, again, that's a huge defensive point that would have been removed. But since you didn't have pretty much your ally come over, I mean, think about a Jackson or the mortar carriage coming over to support them with that. That would have been really helpful. Guess what we didn't see? That, or any coordination by the allied, or the American player. So I don't know what Bez was doing, but I feel like he should have probably helped with that assault, because that would have really helped cripple Racist Duck. That's my explanation. It's like, if you're going to help if you do something to like cripple the enemy, make sure that, you know, you're a little bit, you know, coordinating, or have some coordination of some type. Again, nice defensive line over here, still holding and still defending. Here's the thing, dude, you put down the smoke this way, but you still have the bunker over here, and as we can see, the bunker's still suppressing most of your men. So, I don't know. It's weird in that regard. Wow, Panzerfaust. Cripple the mortar carriage. Now, mortar carriage now, oh, this thing, if you lose your 5-star unit. Alright. But anyway, mortar carriage now 2 stars. Very, very good. And we can see an increased rate of fire, so that's not good. Especially, also, it increases the... Oh, I see why you did that. You cheeky son of a bitch. He did that so A, this thing stays here, and B, he can kill the Jackson, which once again, if he loses another Jackson, this is going to be really disappointing. Mortar carriage getting a nice hit. Now 3 stars manages to help save the Jackson. 2 T-30-45s rushing in, but the Jackass forgets about, oh, I don't know, for cannon warfare over here, all the infantry with Panzerfaust and everything else that's pretty much going to murder them. Another Stormvik strike comes in. Very nice kill, killing one of the 5-star Volk squads. We still have another Panther coming in. So I'm assuming he's rushing in to try to find the Panther where it is and kill it. He still has good armor. Like, he can take a hit. Is he in a, like, the perfect scenario? No. But this allied assault was very ill-conceived. You should not push that far in the enemy territory without any support. And what's the close support he has? Oh, they're crippled. Not even close. So he's going to probably lose his T-30-45. I do like the idea of him, like, running around, trying to get around the Panther. Again, that's the thing about the T-30-45. Using the maneuverability, the Panther does not. It's smaller, a little bit more nimble, so it can easily, like, beat the Panther in that regard. I like that. Unfortunately, he's just not doing as much damage as he needs to. One more hit probably would have done it, but at least it survived a lot longer than it should have. And with that, Lent is pretty much screwed at this point. He has a lot of manpower, don't get me wrong. Oh god, again, I say that a lot, I understand. But, yeah, he needs to bring out a lot more of the men. That's what he kind of needs to do. Pask, not too bad. Oh, Jesus Christ. That's what he was saving up for. Yeah, now the allies are screwed. Because this thing will pretty much snipe anything the allies have. And that could be very, very bad. Again, this thing, unfortunately, doesn't have anything anti-infantry-wise, so the elephant is very susceptible to pretty much any sort of infantry push. But overall, it's fantastic at killing emplacements and everything. Plus the double panthers, oh boy. Now you could say, oh, Greyshot, well, the allies are doing great. Well, yeah, they recaptured this territory, but the amount of units they lost to gain this back, probably not the best. And as you can see, we add up these guys compared to these guys, it's not even close. So, if the elephant can get over here and just snipe, because this is where we've seen a lot of armor engagements, it can do really well. It can even snipe, ladies and gentlemen, an AT gun. Because remember, this AT gun is a piece of machinery. Alright? The elephant is great at killing anything that has, like, essentially a machine aspect to it. So, I know it's designed for tanks, but I've seen it pretty much annihilate AT guns and even like OKW versus Pack 43. The OKW's Pack 43, I've seen it annihilate. So, yeah. Also, Fog of War, we can see, because of the added scope, we can see a lot farther. So, if we wanted to, we can continue to add support. Now, again, it's not like you can't get a kill or two. It might. Very unlikely, but it might. But as long as it's there just constantly firing, it could be very, very bad for the enemy. Which will probably have to force the enemy to engage somewhere else. But I have a feeling they're going to be like, hey guys, let's charge this elephant. If I was them, I would just push through here. Because as you can see, there's not anything over here. Plus, you're next to the enemy base. You can actually do a quick strike on there. Because as you can see, there's no OKW. If there was the OKW bunkers, then yeah, sure. It's like, don't push up armor. But without that, I don't see all that much. You got a Calliope. And once again, no AT guns. They're just bum rushing the hill. God, this American player. Actually, I forgot to check rank. Oh, Jesus Christ, they're really actually highly ranked compared to two low-ranked players. I know rank means nothing, and I've stated that. I pretty much, you can quote me on that now. But you figure you would put something here, especially with your like manpower. Double AT gun on the front line would be great. Just get a captain. It's not that hard. Now we see here the Soviet players trying to push more in mid, hold that territory, at least kind of open the front in a different sector. That thing just got... No, okay. It looked like it was going down, like, in my screen. Where'd it go down? Oh, wow. Almost crashed into the OKW's forces. Elephant coming in, doing a nice job sniping some of the T-30-45s. We have a nice crippling hit. Jackson's moving up being like, I'm going to be the one that kills the elephant. And remember, guys, he still has the Panther, so I don't understand what... or how or why he thought that would be a great idea. Look, one AT gun. Dude, if you've learned anything. Wow, really? Guys, I'm going to save my Jackson. How? I'm going to bum rush my Calliope into the Panthers. I'm sorry, what? What? You can slap yourself in the face right now. This American player simultaneously is incredibly smart with his tactics, but he's incredibly stupid. He doesn't learn to protect that flank. Oh my god, this 3-star. Panther live, Panther live, Panther live. You can do. Oh, yes. Barely. Just barely lives. Very nice job. I tip my hat off to you. Now let's go to the repair station. Once again, you have to get that upgrade, but still very nice. I don't mind having that. It's so small and so minuscule that it's not that big of a deal to get that upgrade. So the big thing, the Allies are screwed. Simply because, I mean, this guy's once again wearing T-34-85s. Look, I'm not saying that these things are... Very nice job stopping from capping it. I think I'm assuming they're trying to do that because, again, the Axis are actually getting close to losing. Because, again, the Allies have been doing a good job of capturing the points. So, my thing is, though, this is not a very simple thing. Wow, go with the infantry. Well, no, never mind. He just lost that. Wow, got a lot of infantry snipe. My thing is, though, it's just like you could be pushing on the weak point. Like this is what I would consider the weak point. Just have a defensive line here, and then push here, and try to knock out red space. You do that, that could be hugely crippling. But no, it's fine. Actually, Pack 43. Let's see. You can go up to here. Here. It would be close, but you could get around this thing without being hurt by the Pack 43. You probably want to focus on that. I don't know if you know about that thing or not. I do like how it's right next to the HQ, and it does have some decent range. It goes to a decent point, so if they do rush, let's say the Elephant, he doesn't have to worry. The Pack 43 would cover. But that's my recommendation, would be just have a defensive line here, maybe arty this sector to kind of weaken them up and just kind of push at their weak point. Or even send infantry that way. But no, they can't. They kind of keep focusing. Also, don't get me wrong, I like the T-30-45. I think it's a good unit to have. I truly do. But here's my counter. You keep using that unit. You haven't changed up that unit. So the enemy knows, okay, this guy's just using T-30-45s, which I'm not saying is a bad unit. I don't want to say that. It's a really good unit. But Katusha, very helpful. S-285, really helpful. Anything else, really helpful. IS-2, really helpful. So instead of getting one of these things, you could have got an IS-2. I feel like that would have been better, because then that thing can take a few hits, while the T-30-45s go around and pretty much clean house. In my honest opinion. Wow, that was an amazing strafe. It did so much damage, the Sternvik strike. Totally worth the 180 munitions. Double Panther, again, not much really fighting them at this point. Like I said, an American AT gun would do wonders, but Bez's like, oh, fuck that. Let's just focus more on infantry, because that's what I'm good at. Until this guy brings up the Panzer Grenadiers to pretty much ruin your day. Think 2 more seconds that they would have killed like so much infantry. It's not even funny if that plane would have crashed. Look, a big armor push, Elephant, if you would do the honor. Oh, I think the building's obstructing it a little bit. And they retreat. Not bad at all. Ooh, that was a devastating loss. But yeah, overall, I think the Axis are doing a pretty good job. Again, they're kind of focusing where they're strongest. They're not really attacking where they're weak. And they are kind of like trying to grab these points. Now, I do feel like they could just send a unit or two to go capture this point. But again, that would kind of open themselves up to being annihilated by T-30-45. So they have to send out quite a big art detachment to do so. Instead, they could just easily have the cover of the Elephant and push up into territories where they have a little bit more strength. That's fine. Nice arty strike, but... Oh, yeah, he's going to lose this thing. Oh, look, T-34-85s thinking they're going to move up. Hey, remember that Pack 43 I mentioned earlier? And turn. And Elephant just keep taking those hits. Typically, oh, wow, I'm actually surprised they're not shell shock, but Pack 43 going to start coming in and just annihilating. Oh, look, the other one's here. It's good they all can enjoy the fun. Yeah, get annihilated. Did this thing fire at all? Okay, it did. Alright. Panthers moving in. Again, they're like, oh, we're fine. We can do this. These two are like, oh god, we have to heal. So, at this point, the Allied front has essentially collapsed. They don't have anything more on the front. They don't have a stable front. I feel like these Panthers kind of figured out, oh, wait. Maybe not. Also, probably should switch to free fire off to actually fight it. Actually, there might be enough. Nope, nope, just barely, not enough. Elephant's going to go hunt down the T-3045. That's rich. I do think there should be some shell shocking going on because they don't think the elephant. If this thing is meant for long range, I don't think it's. I mean, it can take a lot of hits, but I don't think it's meant to take a lot of hits. I think it should be a little bit more shell shocked from those hits. That being said, the Panthers coming in, just gonna mow this thing down. Oh look, 1 AT gun. That's gonna really do well. Oh, that's bad. Crippled engine. Get the fuck out of there. Jackson trying to fight, but again, we have some. Wow, 4-star Panther now. Good kill. Stop decapping that as well. I hate it when people don't use that for its obvious purpose. You can use this to stop. Very nice kill. You can use that to stop the unit from people from taking points and also keep yourself from losing the game. A lot of people don't use that. AT gun trying to kill the Panther before it escapes, but I think it's just gonna barely manage to escape. The funny thing is, even though I'm currently seeing the allies get curb stomped, they're close to winning. They are rather close. Elephant, come on, get another snipe. Ah, see that hill elevation. If the unit's firing on a hill, especially up a hill, there's a very good chance it's going to miss the shot. I don't know if that's intentional or not, but I'm assuming it is. Ah, nice grenade, but just not enough damage. Sport gun, 4 stars, 21 kills, not bad. It fires like 2 per shot, right? Let's see. Come on, fire a shot. Like the American border. Probably a little too close to the front lines. Just saying. And at this point, I'm going to fast forward. But the Allies lost this engagement. And it's funny because they had the equipment to win. Like they had the Calliope, the Jacksons, the T-3045s. I feel they lost just because of poor unit management. And just like bad tactics. This hill was like the worst thing this Allied player could have done. No AT or nothing. He lost what, 5 vehicles from the Panthers being like, oh, run up, kill it, run back, run up, kill it, run back. Nothing here changed for him to stop it. And the T-3045s, I like them, but Jesus Christ, stop it. You both suck with armor. You both are terrible with armor in your own unique ways. You have great armor, but you just fail to capitalize it or to use it, and you're using it way too much. You have a good armor, but you failed once fucking again, you failed to counter what this racist duck is essentially been doing, which is rush up, sneak attack, run away. And you have the high ground. This is the easy point for you. This is essentially, okay, Obi-Wan Kenobi on the high ground and Anakin Skywalker's on the low ground. It's essentially Anakin jumping up and actually killing Obi-Wan. And not just that, Obi-Wan then gets back up on the high ground saying, I have the high ground, and keeps doing that, and just Anakin just keeps punching him in the face over and over and over again, saying, screw you, it doesn't matter. That's what it is. Panthers coming in to finish off the job again. Oh no. Oh no, there's a 4-star one. I'm like, oh no, please tell me. Yeah, at that point they had nothing left. I mean, they were getting annihilated, and then on the left side, points-wise, there's no way they were going to hold it. They could have done the smart thing and just built up an army and waited, but alas, they did not. They kept sacrificing these small little unit pods, and that slowly decreased them over time. Oh boy. Bez, biggest problem, couldn't keep his units alive and didn't to protect the goddamn hill. Lent's biggest problem was he didn't capitalize on pushing on the right, nor did he capitalize on using anything else but T-3045s. Oh boy, I hate when people do that. Racist duck, 71,000 damage. I can believe it. That, I mean, I'm gonna assume his Panthers did most of that. Yeah, 33,000 damage for the Panthers. Ladies and gentlemen, he didn't lose a single Panther. All right, not a single one. All right, and then let's quickly look at what he lost. All right, so he lost 4 Jacksons, 2 Calliopes, and a mortar carriage. All right, Lent lost 7 T-34-85s and a light tank. All right, so that's over a dozen. Well, probably I think 15, right? 15. Am I wrong? 15? Yeah, no, 14. No, 15 with the T. Yeah, 15. We'll just say 15 pieces of armor. Pask, how much armor did you lose? Okay, you lost 3 Panzer IVs. Racist Duck, what'd you lose? 1 half-track. 4 armored units lost compared to 15. You could say, oh, Greyshot, the Axis armor makes up 2 allied units. Fine. 8 compared to 15. You're still terrible at unit preservation for your armor units. Oh boy. That's what you two need to work on. You need to change up your strategy and probably include the IS-2 or, you know, different strategies other than those tanks. Because if you had the IS-2, I feel like you'd have been doing a lot more. Because then you could, all the units will find the IS-2, take a lot more hits, and then you could have a lot more guns firing and hitting from the flank, stuff like that. Because when you were down to microing the T-34-85, you were doing good. But on big engagements, you sucked, and I feel like the IS-2 would have helped. And the Bez, oh my god, you're just terrible at keeping this stuff alive. I'm sorry. It was a good infantry game. Your infantry was fantastic. You kept it alive, you kept them moving, you kept them pretty much winning engagements they had no right to win. But they needed armor, and you kept failing so bad. Simply put, you need an AT gun. And I feel like with Lent, all he needed was Katusha. And IS-2. Pask, I feel like it took you a while to get your groove. I think you relied too much heavily on Panzer IVs when you knew the enemy had, I think, more substantial armor that you could not really fight. I feel like you should have refocused sooner, but you did eventually get your ground. And Racist Duck, I feel like you did a great job, especially with your Panthers, keeping them alive. But you did a great job at holding this area. It was sustained fire. The American player easily had the advantage, but you saw the opportunity to take out a lot of their armor, and you took it. And that's something that I don't see a lot of players do. Capitalizing on a weakness of the enemy that is like open. The enemy's kind of stating, it's like, oh, I won't go for it. I'll do something else. Well, that was a perfect opportunity to hit, and you did that. So that was a very nice play. Overall, good game. I want to thank, once again, Racist Duck for sending that in. I want to thank you guys for watching. Make sure you guys like and subscribe. Tune in for the comments in just a sec that you guys leave in the last video. If you make sure to leave your comments, and I'll talk about the next video. And I'll see you next time. Hello guys, once again it's your time to go over your comments. Sneebox, and thanks a lot for watching my replay, no problem. Scene Word, yes, another replay with both of you guys, so funny. Yes, my brother's was in this one, since we live in the same location, it's kind of easier to do that, so you may see that, you know, more often. I love the game, not because I won, but because it was a toe-to-toe battle. Yeah, that, on the one side it was, on the other side not so much. When you said drop it like it's hot, I gave myself a concussion with my facepalm. Get medical attention, sir. Cornelius Siegfried Hager. Love the double team replays. Just became a Patreon, by the way. Thank you, by the way. I just saw that, and I will be making sure that I say your name along with everything toward the beginning and end of my video. So there you go. And also, first dibs on live stream, so nice job. Great vid. Always love the COH2 replays. Kind of want to see more Hearts of Iron 4 content if possible. Okay. To clarify, the reason why there hasn't been more is because I sucked the first series. So we're going to finish out the current series. I think episode 6 went up. And with that, I think there's like 3 to 4 more episodes, and then we're going to restart. But we're doing it as a slightly different faction, and we're going slightly bigger, and then next time we're going to go a lot bigger. But it's, again, me and my brother, so great contrast, and this time it will be from his point of view. So there's that. Funny video. I look forward to see more. Always nice. Thank you, Leopard. Leopold, Germer, whatever. Justin Weir's Railway reminds me of when I play. LOL, get it, because I know I'm known for killing my own units with my own equipment. You're maybe pushing it a little bit too much, but yeah, it's not the best idea to do it active and run right into it. Just saying. The benefits Stug in real life don't really carry over to the game. In real life, engagement distance are longer than COH2, just so I got longer than the most tanks. Look, in real life, the Stug was like the most. It wasn't technically. It's fun. I don't think it was part of Armored Corps. I think it was still part of the infantry, but it was like one of the most used German armor pieces. So I know it's good. I know. All right, I know. It's the same thing, Jack. I get it. the Stug is good. The Stug is good. I get it. In any case, that's your comments. Thank you guys for commenting. Make sure you comment on the next video, and I'll see you next time.